July gi tang taret ingen gi tara ni thoi ni panba ning thau ka ba namit sok lising ani kun manga gi nungthil gi chapong singda kari editorial kalam yawri bagi haibadu yengminasi hanbada lokhat chari ba pausi asi wayel kati gi editorial kalam da laiba topic asi kuki inpi manipur gi warep kuki singna lan makha chathaba pami haiba lengak na khangbiu manipur da kanglup ki irang thoktuna tangdu leitadaba phibam amada lairakpa chahi aniga tha ani fakhre Miyoi chani humdra humdoirom hatkiba yum lising tararom mai thakiba amasung miyoi lising humpurom internally displaced person uhenkiba tamthiraba thawdoktuna maram oiraga lengak londa chawna ahongba lakle hunai londa achowa chaitheng piri state ki economy lekha tahankre irang asigi waroshin purakpagi mahutta asum sangdoktuna thamba haibasina manipur gi chakot thawrang amasung miyam punamak laira talagani Maram aduna state asida lairiba intellectual kayana ing tapa phibam ama puraknaba yamna kanna hainari. Hairiba wafam asimak India government kisu pandam oiri hana sunariba furup anima ki michang oiriba civil society organization sing Ministry of Home Affairs ki timna hanjin wari sanaduna wathok sing asin loisinna honari. Masidagi hendoktuna hana sunabada mapung oiba thodang laukiba kangbu mayam amaga su kokhatuna wari sanaba laikre. India government su athuba matamda irang loisinduna tangdu leitaba phibam ama lehendanaba yamna kanna honabagi khudam uba phangi hemdunabu oirasu kihan khanghalaga oirasu mi hatpada sijinaba lotuna thamba khuchu kulai sing puthokhanba leptri chabun phagali tampaki lamdagi singthaningai oiba moongda yamlaba khuchu kulai sing noma kangdana phagali tithan antha hoba khara natana ayamba khuchu kulai sing noma kangdana phagali Tithan antha natana ayamba kulai sing lokhatkre haiba yawba haiba phawba yare tingdasu operation chathaba yaroi nomoi phagatpa yaroi haina phana yamna haijaram labasu hojikti chabun phagatpa ure maitei amasung kuki gi masak naiba miyoi kayamarum irang asigi mari lainana phagatpasu leptri irang thorakkiba matamda asawba natraga makoi gi proof kannanabani haiduna nomoi pairaga gunda tawkhibasing adu noma gi asum phagalakpa leptabana naha kaya ama leitana mayumda tumba ngamlagani haiba thajade leibak asi lobu ikai khumnaba oibanina mathang phagalakhigani masida makoi gi proof sing aduna yaningde haiduna noma nini khak protest toramba natana makoi bu logi makhyate gi satpa ngamdaroi haibasima loina khangminaba fai India gi marol naiba irang luisinaba thorang sing asibu masak khangba ngamdaba kanglup sing natraga miyoi khara adudi adum awaba nangkhigani awaba nanggadoribasing adugi manungda kuki inpi manipurna cherol ama thadokpada yauriba kuki gi civil society organization singi luchingba singsu adum maming panba yarabani India government na paikhalakliba ing tapagi fibam ama puraknaba thorang asibu mahai yalhandanaba kuki purukki miyoi kharana yamna kanna hotnari haibasi khangle government ama sembada yawba natragani yawdaba haibasi lawmaker sing adugi makoida piba mathau mangamni Maduda organization natraga kanagumana award apa saluna government semba yaroidabani haina warep hek lawsillakpasi legislature sing aduda ihanbani haina lawroidabagi maram leite Manipur hojik assembly suspend tawraga president rule lairi president rule asi lawthoklaga popular government ama lehenba haibasi democracy chatpa leibak amagi tangai fadabani haina lawribani adubu makoi kharana president rule asi makha adum lehenba pami President rule manungda makoina taliba separate administration gi demand phangma ngamgani haina khanjari masigi sumathakta central government ta akanba pressure ma piribani haina lawri adubu India government ki makoi gi wakhalon asi samu gi maningda pena khongbaga manana lawri Manipur haibasi thugainaba India da power amata leiroi masigi sumathakta central government ki masak naiba luchingba kayada separate administration gi demand si chatnaba yaba nate oithokloidaba demand ni haina phongdoknaribani masi phawbada makoina makha tana pamdaba thodok kaya ama leibak asita thoalaga makoigi demand mai pakani haina khanjaba oiragadi matam chupagi oina maithigani manipura popular government ama leitaba yaroi madu hojikki government asi oidaba yai nauna mikhal tawraga semlakpa government oibasu yai matang asida panjaningbo wafamdi handak kuki inpi manipurna kuki MLA singda ihanba oina hamlakkiba wafam adumakna manipura kuki singa marakta harana irang asi loisinba pamdri haiba takle ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯇꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯗ ꯀꯨꯀꯤꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯁꯥꯟꯅꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯔꯣꯟꯕ ꯗ꯭ꯔꯃꯥ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯁꯦꯟꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯜ ꯒꯣꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠꯅ ꯈꯪꯖꯤꯟꯕ ꯐꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯅꯤꯡꯉꯤ꯫ ꯃꯁꯤꯅ ꯉꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯌꯦꯜ ꯅꯨꯡꯊꯤꯜꯒꯤ ꯆꯦꯐꯣꯡ ꯋꯥꯌꯦꯜ ꯀꯥꯇꯤꯒꯤ editorial ꯀꯂꯝꯅꯤ꯫ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯂꯧꯈꯠꯆꯔꯤꯕ ꯅꯨꯡꯊꯤꯜꯒꯤ ꯆꯦꯐꯣꯡ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯀꯪꯂꯥ ꯄꯥꯎ꯫ ꯀꯪꯂꯥ ꯄꯥꯎꯒꯤ editorial ꯀꯂꯝꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ MLA 10 ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯗ ꯌꯥꯎꯍꯜꯂꯣ, ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯍꯟꯖꯤꯜꯂꯛꯄ ꯄꯥꯝꯗꯕꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯐꯝ ꯂꯩꯔꯛꯄ꯫ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯗ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯗ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ MLAꯁꯤꯡ ꯌꯥꯎꯍꯜꯂꯣ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯐꯝ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯏꯟꯄꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯦꯞ ꯂꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ꯫ ꯑꯃꯔꯣꯝꯗꯅ MPCCꯒꯤ ꯚꯥꯏꯁ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯁꯤꯗꯦꯟꯠ ꯍꯔꯦꯁ꯭ꯋꯔ ꯒꯣꯁꯥꯃꯤꯅ ꯉꯔꯥꯡ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯥꯏꯖꯤꯡ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠꯇ ꯄꯥꯎꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯐꯝꯗ ꯒꯣꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯥꯛꯄ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯐꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯕꯁꯨ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯒꯤ ꯒꯣꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯂꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯛ ꯋꯥꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯐꯝꯁꯤꯡ ꯐꯣꯡꯗꯣꯛꯅꯈꯤꯕ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯝꯗꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ BJPꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯄꯥꯝꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯤ ꯂꯧꯏ꯫ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯏꯟꯄꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯅ ꯑꯅꯧꯕ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯁꯦꯝꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯀꯤꯖꯣ ꯃꯦꯝꯕꯔ ꯑꯣꯐ ꯂꯦꯖꯤꯁꯂꯦꯇꯤꯚ ꯑꯦꯁꯦꯝꯕ꯭ꯂꯤꯒꯤ MLA ꯑꯃꯠꯇꯅ ꯍꯤꯔꯝ ꯑꯃꯠꯇꯗ ꯁꯔꯨꯛ ꯌꯥꯍꯟꯗꯅꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯦꯞ ꯂꯧꯈꯤꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ BJPꯅ ꯂꯤꯗ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯄꯣꯄꯨꯂꯔ ꯒꯣꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠ ꯍꯟꯖꯤꯜꯂꯛꯄ ꯄꯥꯝꯗꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯎꯠꯄꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯥꯌꯣꯛꯇ ꯁꯤꯡꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯈꯣꯡꯐꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯟꯗꯣꯛꯄ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨ ꯈꯪꯍꯜꯂꯛꯈꯤꯕꯅꯤ꯫ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯏꯟꯄꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯅ ꯁꯤꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯖꯨꯂꯥꯏ 4ꯗ ꯆꯨꯔꯆꯥꯟꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯕꯤꯖꯥꯡꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯏꯟꯄꯤꯒꯤ ꯀꯟꯐꯔꯦꯟꯁ ꯍꯣꯜꯗ ꯄꯥꯡꯊꯣꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯤꯐꯝꯗ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯏꯟꯄꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒ ꯆꯠꯃꯤꯟꯅꯔꯤꯕ ꯂꯨꯞꯁꯤꯡ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯨꯗꯦꯟꯠꯁ ꯑꯣꯔꯒꯅꯥꯏꯖꯦꯁꯟ ꯖꯦꯅꯔꯦꯜ ꯍꯦꯗꯀ꯭ꯋꯥꯇꯔꯁ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯀꯪꯂꯥꯏ ꯂꯣꯝꯄꯤ ꯖꯦꯅꯔꯦꯜ ꯍꯦꯗꯀ꯭ꯋꯥꯇꯔ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯈ꯭ꯔꯤꯁꯇꯤꯌꯟ ꯂꯤꯗꯔꯁ ꯐꯣꯔꯝ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯋꯨꯃꯦꯟ ꯑꯣꯔꯒꯅꯥꯏꯖꯦꯁꯟ ꯐꯣꯔ ꯍ꯭ꯌꯨꯃꯦꯟ ꯔꯥꯏꯠꯁ ꯖꯦꯅꯔꯦꯜ ꯍꯦꯗꯀ꯭ꯋꯥꯇꯔꯁ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯆꯤꯐ ꯑꯦꯁꯣꯁꯤꯌꯦꯁꯟ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯕ ꯗꯤꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯛꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯏꯟꯄꯤꯒꯤ ꯌꯨꯅꯤꯠꯁꯤꯡ ꯌꯥꯎꯅ ꯂꯨꯆꯤꯡꯕꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯁꯔꯨꯛ ꯌꯥꯈꯤ꯫ ꯃꯤꯐꯝ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯂꯧꯈꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯦꯞ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡ ꯆꯟꯅ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯋꯥꯔꯦꯞꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯍꯤꯔꯝ ꯑꯃꯠꯇꯗ ꯀꯨꯀꯤꯖꯣ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯏꯁꯥꯒꯤ ꯌꯦꯜꯍꯧꯉꯩꯗꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯛꯂꯕ ꯂꯝ, ꯀꯜꯆꯔ, ꯁꯛꯇꯝ, ꯄꯣꯂꯤꯇꯤꯀꯦꯜ, ꯁꯣꯁꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯏꯀꯣꯅꯣꯃꯤꯛ ꯔꯥꯏꯠ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯌꯥꯁꯤꯟꯅꯕ ꯇꯧꯔꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯅꯤ꯫ ꯋꯥꯔꯦꯞꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯄꯨꯟꯕ ꯄꯣꯂꯤꯇꯤꯀꯦꯜ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯐꯤꯔꯦꯞ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯀꯨꯀꯤꯖꯣ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯒꯤ ꯑꯄꯥꯝꯕꯅꯤ꯫ ꯋꯥꯔꯦꯞꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯀꯨꯀꯤꯖꯣ ꯃꯤꯍꯨꯠꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯀꯝꯃ꯭ꯌꯨꯅꯤꯇꯤ ꯑꯣꯔꯒꯅꯥꯏꯖꯦꯁꯟꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯉꯥꯛꯅ ꯆꯠꯀꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯆꯦꯛꯁꯤꯟ ꯋꯥꯐꯝ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯉꯥꯛꯅ ꯆꯠꯀꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤ꯫ ꯑꯃꯔꯣꯝꯗꯅ MPCCꯒꯤ ꯚꯥꯏꯁ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯁꯤꯗꯦꯟꯠ ꯍꯔꯦꯁ꯭ꯋꯔ ꯒꯣꯁꯥꯃꯤꯅ ꯉꯔꯥꯡ ꯄꯥꯎꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯐꯝ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯐꯣꯡꯗꯣꯛꯈꯤꯕꯗ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯒꯣꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯥꯛꯄ ꯐꯩ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯗ ꯄꯥꯜꯂꯝꯈꯤꯕ ꯒꯣꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯍꯜꯂꯛꯂꯕꯗꯤ ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯒꯨꯝ ꯋꯥꯃꯤꯟꯅꯒꯅꯤ, ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯏꯅꯧ ꯅꯧꯕ ꯒꯣꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯅ ꯐꯒꯅꯤ꯫ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯂꯨꯆꯤꯡꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯝ ꯃꯤꯅꯤꯁꯇꯔ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯁꯣꯁꯤꯑꯣꯄꯦꯊꯤꯛ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯍꯣꯝ ꯃꯤꯅꯤꯁꯇꯔ ꯃꯥꯏꯕꯣꯃꯦꯅꯤꯌꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯂꯩꯅꯥ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯅꯥꯔꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯆꯤꯡꯅꯩ꯫ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯒꯤ CM ꯌꯥꯎꯅ BJPꯒꯤ ꯂꯨꯆꯤꯡꯕ ꯈꯔꯗꯤ ꯉꯥꯡꯅꯤꯡꯕ ꯄꯉꯥꯡꯗ ꯉꯥꯡꯂꯤꯕꯁꯤ ꯀꯣꯛꯀꯤ ꯂꯩꯅꯥ ꯅꯥꯔꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯆꯤꯡꯅꯩ꯫ ꯒꯣꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠ ꯄꯥꯏꯗꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯉꯥꯎꯔꯒ ꯆꯠꯄ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯕꯁꯨ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯐꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯔꯣꯝꯗ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯑꯣꯟꯁꯤꯟꯕꯤꯌꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯆꯤꯡꯕ ꯃꯔꯥꯜ ꯁꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯐꯝꯁꯤꯡ ꯐꯣꯡꯗꯣꯛꯈꯤ꯫ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯏꯟꯄꯤ MPNIPUR ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ MPCCꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯀꯩꯗꯒꯤ ꯐꯣꯡꯗꯣꯔꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯐꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯄꯣꯄꯨꯂꯔ ꯒꯣꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠ ꯍꯟꯖꯤꯜꯂꯛꯄ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯄꯥꯝꯅꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯇꯥꯏꯑꯣꯟꯅꯕꯒꯨꯝ ꯇꯧꯔꯤ꯫ ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯥ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯄꯊꯥꯞꯀꯤ ꯆꯠꯅ ꯀꯥꯡꯂꯣꯟꯒꯤ ꯃꯈꯥꯗ ꯃꯤꯈꯜ ꯄꯥꯡꯊꯣꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯍꯨꯠ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯟꯈꯤꯕ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ MLA 10 ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯗ ꯌꯥꯎꯕ ꯌꯥꯔꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯑꯊꯤꯡꯕ ꯊꯝꯕ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ MLA 10ꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯂꯥꯟꯗꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯑꯄꯨꯟꯕ ꯁꯛꯇꯝ ꯊꯨꯒꯥꯏꯅꯕ ꯇꯤꯟ ꯀꯨꯀꯤꯖꯣ ꯅꯥꯔꯀꯣ ꯇꯦꯔꯣꯔꯤꯁꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯐꯣꯡꯅ ꯁꯧꯒꯠꯂꯤꯕ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯁꯦꯟꯇꯔ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯂꯣꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯦꯛꯁꯟ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯂꯧꯈꯠꯇꯕ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒ ꯇꯤꯟ ꯀꯨꯀꯤꯖꯣꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯂꯣꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯂꯩꯔꯛꯈꯤꯕꯅꯤ ꯂꯧꯏ꯫ ꯀꯨꯀꯤꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯂꯥꯟꯗꯥꯗꯨꯅ ꯇꯦꯔꯣꯔꯤꯖꯝꯒꯤ ꯈꯝ ꯊꯦꯡꯕ ꯋꯥꯔ ꯀ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯝ ꯆꯠꯊꯔꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ PR ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯊꯝꯂꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯆꯤꯡ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯇꯝꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯈꯝ ꯊꯦꯡꯅ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯃꯥꯌꯣꯛꯅꯔꯤ꯫ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯒꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯀꯣꯛꯍꯟꯅꯕ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯋꯥꯊꯣꯛ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯋꯥꯔꯣꯏꯁꯤꯟ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕꯒ ꯏꯔꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯍꯟꯖꯤꯟꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯔꯤꯉꯩ ꯆꯔꯛꯇ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯏꯟꯄꯤ MPNIPUR ꯑꯃꯗꯤ MPCCꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯀꯩꯗꯒꯤ ꯊꯝꯂꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯋꯥꯐꯝꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯆꯥꯎꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯅꯥꯡꯕ ꯄꯣꯛꯍꯜꯂꯤ꯫ MPCCꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯀꯩꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯗꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯍꯟꯖꯤꯜꯍꯟꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯕꯗꯤ ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯒꯨꯝ ꯋꯥꯊꯣꯛ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤꯗ ꯆꯃꯝꯅꯕ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕꯗꯤ ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯒꯤ CMꯅ ꯂꯨꯆꯤꯡꯕ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯂꯩꯍꯟꯅꯤꯡꯗꯕ ꯂꯩꯔꯕꯗꯤ ꯊꯧꯅꯥ ꯂꯩꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯏ꯫ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯦꯖꯣꯔꯤꯇꯤ ꯀꯃꯥꯟ BJPꯅ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯅ ꯑꯅꯧꯕ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯍꯟꯖꯤꯜꯂꯛꯄ ꯇꯥꯔꯕꯗꯤ ꯄꯥꯔꯇꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯂꯨꯆꯤꯡꯕ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯛꯀꯅꯤ, ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ MLA 10ꯅ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯗ ꯌꯥꯎꯍꯜꯂꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯎꯕ ꯌꯥꯎꯗꯕ ꯂꯣꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯁꯦꯁꯀꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯏꯟꯅ ꯂꯦꯞꯂꯛꯀꯗꯕꯅꯤ꯫ ꯄꯣꯄꯨꯂꯔ ꯒꯣꯚꯔꯟꯃꯦꯟꯠ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯗ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ MLA 10 ꯌꯥꯎꯍꯜꯂꯣꯏ, ꯃꯃꯥꯡꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯍꯟꯖꯤꯜꯂꯛꯂꯕꯗꯤ ꯋꯥꯊꯣꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯐꯝ ꯂꯩꯔꯛꯄ ꯑꯁꯤ PRꯅ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯄꯥꯝꯕꯒꯤꯔꯥ ꯃꯁꯤꯅ ꯀꯪꯂꯥ ꯄꯥꯎꯒꯤ ꯏꯗꯤꯇꯣꯔꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯀꯂꯝꯅꯤ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤꯅ ꯀꯪꯂꯩꯄꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯩꯔꯥ ꯀꯪꯂꯩꯄꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯩꯔꯥꯒꯤ ꯏꯗꯤꯇꯣꯔꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯀꯂꯝꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯇꯣꯄꯤꯛ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯄꯥꯛ ꯁꯟꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯄꯥꯟꯕ ꯌꯥꯅꯕ MLAꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯊꯧꯗꯥꯡ ꯂꯧꯁꯤ ꯂꯧ ꯎꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯀꯛꯅꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯄꯥꯡꯊꯣꯛꯀꯗꯕꯅꯤ ngasi tauge hayeng tauge haiduna matam ngaiduna leiba yaba nate tenglabada July 15 fawbugi manungda faw hulawdaba tarabadi makha tana mai pakna low uba yaroidoribani haibadi aying asagi tang khenarakpa temperature nemtharakpadagi mapung phana low panba ngamloidoribani masi low singugi lamda mamut tana khanglaba agri scientist singna mamangaidagi lawmi miyamda khangenduna laklaba wafamni adubu hawjik July 3 yawraba faw Manipurgi lokon ayamba low panbagi thabuk mapung phana paikhatpa haibadudi oidri ꯃꯁꯤ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯕꯨ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯗ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯀꯥꯡꯂꯨꯞꯀꯤ ꯏꯔꯥꯡ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯆꯤꯡꯈꯣꯡ ꯆꯤꯡꯌꯥꯗ ꯇꯥꯏꯅꯕꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯂꯧꯀꯣꯟ ꯑꯌꯥꯝꯕ ꯀꯨꯀꯤ ꯃꯤꯂꯤꯇꯦꯟꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯩ ꯀꯥꯞꯁꯤꯜꯂꯛꯄꯗꯒꯤ ꯊꯧꯗꯣꯛ ꯃꯈꯥ ꯇꯥꯅ ꯊꯣꯔꯛꯀꯗ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯑꯀꯤꯕ ꯂꯩꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯂꯧꯕꯨꯛꯇ ꯀꯨꯝꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯄꯥꯟꯕ ꯉꯝꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯐꯤꯚꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ PR ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯂꯨꯆꯤꯡꯕ ꯒꯚꯔꯅꯔ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯗꯤꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯇꯤꯛ ꯆꯥꯕ ꯁꯦꯀ꯭ꯌꯨꯔꯤꯇꯤ ꯐꯣꯔꯁ ꯄꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯉꯥꯛ ꯁꯦꯟꯕꯒꯤ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯃꯄꯨꯡ ꯐꯥꯅ ꯄꯥꯏꯈꯠꯇꯨꯅ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯀꯤ ꯑꯈꯪ ꯂꯩꯇꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯎꯕ ꯉꯝꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯏ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯐꯤꯚꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯍꯨꯠ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ MLAꯁꯤꯡꯅꯁꯨ ꯄꯥꯛ ꯁꯟꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯎꯕ ꯉꯝꯅꯕ ꯂꯧꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯊꯧꯗꯥꯡ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯂꯧꯕ ꯆꯨꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯗ ꯅꯠꯇꯅ ꯑꯇꯦꯟꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯊꯥꯕ ꯌꯥꯕ ꯐꯧꯗꯤꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯦꯒ꯭ꯔꯤꯀꯜꯆꯔ ꯗꯤꯄꯥꯔꯠꯃꯦꯟꯠ ICAR ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯁꯦꯟꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯦꯒ꯭ꯔꯤꯀꯜꯆꯔꯦꯜ ꯌꯨꯅꯤꯚꯔꯁꯤꯇꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯂꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯐꯪꯍꯟꯕ ꯃꯊꯧ ꯇꯥꯏ ꯃꯗꯨꯗ ꯅꯠꯇꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯈꯣꯏꯕꯗ ꯆꯪꯒꯗꯕ ꯏꯟꯖꯤꯟ ꯊꯥꯎ ꯂꯧꯗ ꯆꯥꯏꯅꯕ ꯃꯈꯜ ꯀꯌꯥꯒꯤ ꯍꯥꯔꯅꯆꯤꯡꯕꯁꯤꯡꯁꯨ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯑꯄꯟꯕ ꯂꯩꯇꯅ ꯐꯪꯍꯟꯕꯒꯤ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯂꯧꯈꯠꯄꯗ MLAꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯊꯧꯗꯥꯡ ꯂꯧꯕꯤꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯏ ꯊꯧꯗꯣꯛꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯈ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯁꯦꯀ꯭ꯌꯨꯔꯤꯇꯤ ꯄꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯧꯕꯨꯛꯇ ꯉꯥꯛ ꯁꯦꯜꯂꯒ ꯂꯧ ꯄꯥꯟꯕ ꯉꯝꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨ MLAꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯈꯪꯅ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯄꯥꯡꯊꯣꯛꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯁꯤ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯅꯠꯇꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯄꯥꯟꯅꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯋꯥꯔ ꯐꯨꯇꯤꯡꯗ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯍꯧꯗꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯕꯗꯤ ꯃꯊꯪ ꯆꯍꯤꯗ ꯆꯥꯅꯤꯡꯉꯥꯏ ꯆꯤꯟꯖꯥꯛ ꯂꯩꯇꯕꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯗ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯆꯥꯎꯅ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯃꯥꯌꯣꯛꯅꯒꯗꯧꯔꯤꯕꯅꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯆꯥꯛ ꯇꯥꯡꯕꯒꯤ ꯂꯥꯟꯖꯥꯎ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯒꯗꯧꯔꯤꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯊꯣꯛꯇꯅꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯍꯨꯠ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯀꯦꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯒꯤ MLAꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯇꯉꯥꯏ ꯐꯗꯅ ꯂꯧꯎ ꯊꯥ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯧ ꯎꯕꯒꯤ ꯊꯕꯛꯇ ꯃꯔꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯑꯣꯟꯁꯤꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯄꯥꯛ ꯁꯟꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯎꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯂꯨꯔꯤꯕꯗꯤ ꯂꯧ ꯎꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯃꯔꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯏꯁꯤꯡ ꯌꯥꯎꯗ꯭ꯔꯕꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯗꯦ ꯃꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯇꯝꯄꯥꯛ ꯂꯧꯀꯣꯟ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯐꯥꯎꯗꯨꯅ ꯆꯦꯜꯂꯤꯕ ꯇꯨꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯈꯣꯡꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯀꯆꯥ ꯗꯥꯝ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯁꯦꯝꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯏꯁꯤꯡ ꯆꯤꯡꯅꯕ ꯏꯟꯖꯤꯟ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯐꯪꯍꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯄꯥꯛꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯄꯥꯟꯕ ꯉꯝꯅꯕ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯂꯧꯈꯠꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯏ ꯃꯁꯤꯗ ꯅꯠꯇꯅ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯊꯧꯕꯥꯜ ꯗꯥꯝ ꯃꯄꯤꯊꯦꯜ ꯗꯥꯝ ꯈꯨꯒꯥ ꯗꯥꯝ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯇꯩ ꯕꯦꯔꯦꯖ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯏꯊꯩ ꯂꯧꯈꯣꯡꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯡꯆꯥꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯂꯧꯕꯨꯛꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯐꯪꯍꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯏꯁꯤꯡ ꯋꯥꯠꯇꯅ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯄꯥꯛꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯄꯥꯟꯅꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯁꯤ ꯄꯟꯕ ꯌꯥꯕꯗꯤ ꯁꯨꯒꯅꯨ ꯀꯦꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯒꯤ MLA K ꯔꯟꯖꯤꯠꯅ ꯂꯧꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯄ ꯊꯧꯗꯥꯡ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯆꯞ ꯆꯥꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯂꯧ ꯎꯕꯒꯤ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯄꯥꯏꯈꯠꯂꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯧ ꯑꯇꯩ MLAꯁꯤꯡꯅꯁꯨ ꯇꯝꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯏ ꯑꯁꯨꯝꯅ MLAꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯐꯕ ꯃꯇꯧ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯇꯝꯗꯨꯅ MLAꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯉꯥꯛ ꯁꯦꯟꯅꯕ ꯄꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯁꯦꯀ꯭ꯌꯨꯔꯤꯇꯤ ꯐꯣꯔꯁꯁꯤꯡ ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯗꯨꯅ ꯄꯥꯛ ꯁꯟꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯈꯣꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯆꯠꯊꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯁꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯐꯤꯚꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯂꯧꯎ ꯁꯤꯡꯎꯕꯒꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯪꯅꯁꯨ ꯂꯧ ꯎꯕꯗ ꯆꯪꯒꯗꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯂꯝꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯔꯥꯡ ꯀꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨ ꯇꯁꯦꯡꯅ ꯎꯠꯐꯝ ꯊꯣꯛꯏ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯆꯥꯅ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯐꯪꯍꯟꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯥꯎꯊꯣꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯂꯧ ꯎꯕꯗ ꯆꯪꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯂꯝꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯠꯇ ꯐꯪꯍꯟꯕ ꯆꯨꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯅꯠꯇꯅ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯇꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯧꯎ ꯁꯤꯡꯎ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯪ ꯂꯩꯕꯒꯨꯝ ꯇꯧꯕꯗꯤ ꯂꯥꯟꯒꯅꯤ ꯈ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯂꯨꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯇꯦꯟꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯅꯨꯃꯤꯠ 100ꯅꯤꯗ ꯂꯣꯛꯄ ꯌꯥꯕ ꯐꯧꯗꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯅꯤ ꯍꯤꯔꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯗ RCM 20 ꯃꯅꯤ ꯐꯧ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯪꯅꯕ ꯐꯧꯗꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯃꯊꯧ ꯇꯥꯔꯛꯂꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯐꯧꯗꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯀꯗꯥꯏꯗ ꯐꯪꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨ ꯑꯦꯒ꯭ꯔꯤꯀꯜꯆꯔ ꯗꯤꯄꯥꯔꯠꯃꯦꯟꯠꯅ ꯊꯤꯗꯣꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯊꯨꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯐꯪꯍꯟꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯕꯗꯤ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯄꯥꯛꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯎꯕꯗ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯅꯤ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯄꯟꯈ꯭ꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯐꯝꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯄꯥꯛꯅ ꯄꯥꯡꯊꯣꯛꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ PR ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯂꯨꯆꯤꯡꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯒꯚꯔꯅꯔ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯀꯦꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯒꯤ MLAꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯆꯧꯕ ꯊꯧꯗꯥꯡ ꯂꯧꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯩꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯄꯥꯟꯕꯣꯝ ꯇꯤꯡꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯦꯞꯇꯨꯅ ꯁꯤꯡꯅꯕ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯊꯦꯡꯅꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯎꯕꯗ ꯆꯪꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯂꯝꯁꯤꯡ ꯐꯪꯍꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯄꯥꯛꯅ ꯂꯧ ꯄꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯁꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯪꯂꯩꯄꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯩꯔꯥꯒꯤ ꯏꯗꯤꯇꯣꯔꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯀꯂꯝꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯧꯈꯠꯆꯔꯤꯕ ꯏꯗꯤꯇꯣꯔꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯀꯂꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯏꯝꯐꯥꯜ ꯇꯥꯏꯝꯁ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯏꯪꯂꯤꯁ ꯑꯦꯗꯤꯁꯟꯒꯤ ꯅꯨꯡꯊꯤꯜ ꯆꯦꯐꯣꯡ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯏꯗꯤꯇꯣꯔꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯀꯂꯝꯅꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯇꯣꯄꯤꯛ ꯑꯁꯤ A Call for Dignified Resettlement and Peace IDPs More than 2 years into devastating ethnic conflict that has torn apart the social fabric of Manipur, tens of thousands of people remain internally displaced, living in temporary shelters, relief camps, and scattered across districts far from their homes. Among them, among them are Meitei and Kuki families who once lived side by side but are now divided by walls of mistrust, fear, and political inertia. As the wounds of violence linger, the state must prioritize one fundamental humanitarian goal, the dignified resettlement and peaceful rehabilitation of all internally displaced persons, IDPs, irrespective of their community. When the violence first erupted in May 2023, both Meitei and Kuki households were forced to flee their homes in fear of their lives. Homes were burned, villages destroyed, places of worship desecrated. Children were torn from schools, livelihoods disrupted, and communities fractured. While the immediate shock has faded from headlines, the reality remains that thousands still live in conditions far from normal. In relief camps with limited access to clean water, healthcare, and proper education for their children. In June 2025, the Chief Secretary of Manipur, Dr. Benit Joshi, now replaced by P.K. Singh, had assured that resettlement of IDPs was a top priority for the state government. More recently, Chief Secretary P.K. Singh reiterated that the state would soon begin process to rehabilitate displaced persons, build prefabricated houses, and restore a sense of normalcy. While such assurances are welcomed, they must now be met by swift, transparent, and inclusive actions. The process of resettlement must be guided by compassion, justice, and impartiality. The state must first ensure that the camps where IDPs currently live are improved with adequate sanitation, nutrition, mental health support, and education. Simultaneously, planning for their return or relocation must be done in consultation with affected families, not as a top-down bureaucratic directive, but with genuine community engagement. Each displaced individual deserves a voice in decisions that will affect their future. One cannot ignore the political and communal sensitivity involved in resettling IDPs in conflict zones, but avoiding the issue will only allow wounds to fester. Resettlement must be done in a manner that does not reignite tensions. Through neutral monitoring, coordination with civil society, and establishment of buffer zones and peace committees in volatile areas. Special care must be taken for women, children, the elderly, and the differently able among the Manipur government must also acknowledge that rebuilding lives means more than constructing houses. It includes restoring trust, livelihoods, and dignity. Peace, education, reconciliation efforts, inter-community dialogues, and trauma healing must accompany the physical echo of rebuilding homes. The future of Manipur stability depends not only on road and structures, but also on healing broken relationships. Both the Meitei and Kuki communities have suffered deep and irreversible losses. The state must not play the role of a distant observer, but as an active agent of reconciliation. The responsibility lies not only with government, but also with the elected representatives, tribal and valley based civil bodies, and every citizen who desires peace in this land. At this critical juncture, the state government must draw up a concrete and a time-bound rehabilitation plan and make it public. The process must be equitable, devoid of favoritism or bias, and rooted in constitutional values. A monitoring body with representation from all affected communities and a neutral observer would ensure accountability. For Manipur to truly heal, its displaced citizens must be to return to safe homes, their sense of belongingness restored, and the promise of peaceful coexistence rekindled. Let the resettlement of IDPs not become another forgotten chapter in Manipur troubled history, but a turning point towards lasting peace. ꯃꯁꯤꯅ ꯏꯝꯐꯥꯜ ꯇꯥꯏꯝꯁꯀꯤ ꯏꯗꯤꯇꯣꯔꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯀꯂꯝꯅꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯉꯁꯤꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯅꯨꯡꯊꯤꯜꯒꯤ ꯄꯥꯎꯆꯦꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯐꯣꯡꯂꯤꯕ ꯏꯗꯤꯇꯣꯔꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯀꯂꯝꯁꯤꯡ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯄꯥꯊꯣꯛꯆꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯝ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯜꯂꯛꯂꯦ ꯚꯤꯗꯤꯑꯣ ꯑꯁꯤꯕꯨ ꯂꯣꯏꯐꯥꯎ ꯌꯦꯡꯕꯤꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯕꯨ ꯊꯥꯒꯠꯆꯕ ꯐꯣꯡꯗꯣꯛꯆꯔꯤ ꯊꯦꯡꯛ ꯌꯨ ꯁꯣ ꯃꯆ